So it's a big welcome back to part 2 of Kampala, Koffee and Kololo. And if you haven't seen part 1 yet, I would encourage you to do so. I'll put a link at the end of this video. Some of the highlights in part 1 were that I discovered a tribal king palace, got diverted on some unexpected roadworks. Of course, you can't have a Sunday bimble without a cup of coffee, and it was a fantastic brew in Kololo. And of course, discovering some street names that were related to the British royal family and riding along Prince Charles Drive. So I'm going to make my way home slowly this morning after my coffee, but I thought I'd go around Kampala just a little bit and see some of the areas that I haven't ridden on before. I am aware of them, but I thought it would just be good to get out on that Sunday morning ride when the traffic's a little bit less. I think people... Oh, careful there. Oh, and another one. It's interesting that when I was learning to drive, my driving instructor said to me, "Treat everybody as though they're an idiot on the road." And although I kind of take that into account, I just feel here in Uganda that people are not idiots so much. It's just that they just look after themselves. And that's the thing to be aware of when you're riding in a country such as this. Well, we've just passed Simba, where I bought my motorbike, and we're heading down the hill now to the area of Malago Hospital and Gayaza Road. Plenty of roadworks this morning, drainage and broken tarmac and potholes, but my friends in UK, let me know if your roads are any better than this. And as we make a gentle descent down Kira Road towards the junction, I'm noticing that there are a few more cars now on the road, a few more motorbikes or bodabodas. If you stick around to the end, there's a little bit of a debate I'm having that's worth a watch, so hopefully you'll stick around for this video. And never underestimate the power of the undertake. Almost forgot to put those eyes in the back of my head then. So this street name is a bit of a mouthful. It's the Haji Musa Kasuli Road. And the turning coming up on the left is the Nakasero Hill Road. Now, Nakasero Hill is one of the original 7 hills that Kampala is based on. I may look into that a little bit more and we'll try and discover those other 6. Of course, Kampala is a lot bigger now and covers more than the 7 original hills, but interesting nonetheless. I'm waiting at the junction of Bombo Road, and Bombo Road takes us back into the centre of Kampala, and Bombo Road then will merge with Kampala Road, and I'll let you know when we reach that part. For some reason, my eyes seem to be drawn to this trailer, which is being towed by the 4x4 there. You don't see many trailers in Uganda, and I can only suspect that this one was designed by the very famous designer Heath Robinson. For those who know, you know. We're just coming up to the area now where Bombo Road merges with Kampala Road, and I don't know whether you're with me, you've noticed that the architecture around this area is still very colonial, with the verandas and the very low buildings of 2 or 3 stories at the most. And it's not until we get a little bit further into town you'll see the more modern architecture. Talking about merging, well, looks like I'm going to have a motorbike sandwich here. Let's get out of the way. I don't know what it was, whether it was the admiring of the architecture, the trying to avoid the matatus and the busyness of the boda bodas, but I assumed that this right turn was my turn to Entebbe Road, so I took it, and I went to regret that, of course. I had in fact turned into Kayagwi Road, which, if you know Kampala, it's the road that goes down to the centre of the old town of Kampala. Now, this is Sunday morning, it's not too bad, but believe me, rush hour during the week, this is almost standing room only. So, but I noticed there was even this morning a queue of traffic going down towards the taxi park, the central taxi park. So I decided I was going to look for a quick exit, do a U-turn, and then retrace my steps. Luckily there was a gap here. It's certainly one of those roads in Kampala that once you've committed, you've got to stick to it. I've been down there before, and I know that it's difficult to get out again, so I'll make a right turn again, get back on the Kampala Road, and look for Entebbe Road. I'm sure I'll recognise it this time. I think I was half asleep. So this looks more like it. I'm going to make a right turn here. If you carry straight on this road, it actually merges Kampala Road into Ginger Road, which is a road I use quite a lot on my videos so far. So, free of the stress of almost landing into the centre of Old Kampala, I'm now bringing myself up to the junction of what is known as the Old Clock Tower roundabout. And here I observe all of those lovely people thinking about themselves. Anyway, we're off, and we're now on the Queen's Way, which of course was named after Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth. This is a bit of a racetrack, and it's a one-way system, and another motorbike sandwich there, nearly. You've got to have your wits about you, and eyes in the back of your head. Looking for my boda competition now. This guy's carrying animal feed now, but I don't think he's a winner yet. I think there's more to follow. You remember on my last episode, the guy carrying the sugar cane was the winner of my unusual things to carry on a boda. But let's see what we find a little bit further down the road. There may still be a winner yet. Anyway, the Airtail roundabout. No giveaway to the right here, just filter with confidence. So back on the Entebbe road now. I was just thinking about my motorbike clothing, and I'm making a trip back to UK in March, and hoping to visit one or two motorbike centres, maybe some clothing, have a look at a few motorbikes there, do some comparisons again between UK and Uganda. Sorry to interrupt there, but I think I found my winner. Not the guy here carrying the onions, but the guy dragging rebar along. Now that's quite a common thing here in Uganda, but it does make you wonder how many meters he's going to have left by the time he gets to his destination. Anyway, back to clothing. What I'm looking for is a shirt, or an armoured shirt, or a lighter jacket that would be more suited for this environment. Now, if you know of anything that's not too expensive, within my budget, then let me know on the comments, and I will be very grateful if you could communicate that to me. I sometimes find my jacket a little bit just too hot for this climate. So just a couple of nasty junctions on this stretch of the Entebbe road, and I've learnt over the last few months to use the vehicles that are on my left, particularly here, as blockers. I know it's a dangerous practice, but this Matato is acting now as a good blocker for the junction to allow this traffic to flow. You still got to be careful, but it's something to look out for when you're riding. So I'm passing my friend once again carrying his onions, and thinking I'm going to end the video now. I usually stop at a petrol station around here just to offload the cameras. I sometimes find that the helmet camera gets a little bit heavy if I leave it on all the way back home, so here's an offloading place. But I arrive and I'm noticing in the corner is a new motorbike charging station, or a charging swap station. So I think I'm going to go over and have a conversation with them now.
How many kilometers on one battery? Between 100 and
80 is the standard.
80 is the standard.
Yeah, but it was the 100. The 100, yeah, but you use the computer here.
Yeah, so if you go
80
fast,
is the standard.
if you go fast, it will be less.
No, according to these old batteries, this one is they range between 100 and 120.
Okay.
The problem is
they range between 80 and 100.
Okay, so if you go for the small one, how much?
As in cost?
Yes.
You pay according to
The percentage of the battery.
the percentage that you have used.
But
Oh,
one
okay.
full battery is 8,500.
8,000.
Eh,
I live in Entebbe,
You live in Entebbe.
so already this morning I have done 64 kilometers.
eh.
So I have to look for a battery place
no.
before I go
One
home.
battery can
But
take
to
you to
Entebbe,
Entebbe.
you use 25 to 30.
So it's
One
40.
battery
then-
can take
then
you
you-
to
battery can take you-
and
Eh.
Kampala.
Yeah.
From Kampala to Entebbe.
And
You use
Kampala.
25
Oh yes.
25 to
Oh, I
30.
understand.
Yeah.
But I can't do a loop.
But you use one battery, I think you left 40.
No,
Eh.
if you are to go to Entebbe and come back,
Ah,
then I think
I will need to look for another place.
you use for 60, 55.
So it's costing me 12,000.
12.
Yeah.
It's cheap.
It's cheaper to use petrol at the moment than electricity. I will do 100 kilometers. So when I get to Entebbe, I'm going, will I make it home?
Eh,
You know?
Yeah.
So we need more of these. So these places every 10 kilometers. So you're not, and you need an app on your phone to say where is the next battery change. So I'm not, in my mind, I'm not thinking, they call it battery anxiety.
I go to Mitiana, I can, but no problem.
Yes.
Because I mind, but when I get 60, when I see the swap, I get another one.
Yes.
Because, but I top it.
top
When I
it
start
up.
for 80,000, but next I take 5,000,
Yes.
next I take 4, next I take 3, next I take 1,500.
It's not necessary that you
But
should
it's not
use
80, 80, 80,
80,000.
So my question now is this battery for only Spiro bikes?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
always.
only for
Hey,
spare.
so I see other makes, other manufacturers
Yeah.
now. So where do they go?
Well, you want also to go there?
So I see there is a charging place in Entebbe, but it's not Spiro.
And not for spare.
No.
There are others called the
There are
Gogo.
others, there is
Yes.
Mogo, there is
But is it the same
Mogo.
battery?
No.
not the same.
Ah,
Each brand,
company,
each
each-
brand has
yes.
its own
So
batteries.
you have to buy the motorbike, which is the most popular,
Yeah.
because then they will have the most charging stations.
Hi. So I thought I'd bring this conversation home. Quite an interesting discussion I had there at the charging station. But just to have a look at the comparisons and some of the statistics that are involved here in Uganda, and maybe have a look at the differences between UK and Uganda as far as EV motorbikes are concerned. The EV motorbike industry in Uganda is expanding, and some of the figures I have is before 2018 there was no EV industry here, and 2018 only about 750 units were operating around the Kampala area. By last year, 4,000. So who knows what will happen in 2026. Now, the big players in the industry here in Uganda are Spiro, Zembo and Watu. But my research has shown me that there are actually over 20 manufacturers of EV bikes that are importing into Uganda. So let's talk about advantages, disadvantages. So in UK you have the same problems with what I would call range anxiety. You know, I've seen some of the YouTube videos there in UK of people saying they get about 100 miles on one charge. Here, the batteries, they are using up to 90 to 100 kilometers, so slightly less than UK. Big advantage, of course, in UK is that those EV motorbikes can be charged at normal EV charging stations, which are popular everywhere around UK now. Disadvantage, when you go to charge, of course, if you want a full charge, it can take up to 1 hour at those places. So a lot of coffee if you're making a long journey. The advantage here in Uganda is that there are what they call battery charging swapping stations. So you saw that one, the Spiro swap station there. The guy will turn up with his battery, maybe he's got 20% left, and he will swap it for a 100% charged battery, costing him somewhere in the region of £1 to £2, £1.50 to £2, something like that. So there's an advantage there. And of course, being able to swap and then get going is a huge advantage over the UK system. Disadvantages here in Uganda, of course, are that with the main players in tow, they haven't quite got their act together yet with the type of batteries that they're using. So you'll notice that in that conversation that the Spiro battery is unique to the Spiro motorcycle. They mentioned that other motorcycle batteries do not fit the Spiros and vice versa. So it would appear that Spiro have the market advantage at the moment in Uganda with over 100 charging stations, and I have to admit that I've seen more Spiro electric bikes here, even in Entebbe, so the charging stations are growing. Who's going to win this battle of the EV motorbike, I think, will be down to the three main players, the Spiro, the Zembo, and the Watu. My bet is on the Spiro, because they seem to have more charging and battery swap stations around Uganda than any other manufacturer. It's early days. My choice still at the moment is I'll stick to my combustion engine with my carburetors. It still costs me around about the same or less to do those loops of 100, 120 kilometers, but I don't have that range anxiety that I would have if I were to be riding a EV motorcycle here in Uganda. There's a long way to go to improve the ranges of the motorcycle, or to make sure that there are enough battery swap stations on any journey nationwide to make it worthwhile. Well, thanks for watching my second part of the Kampala, Koffee and Kololo video. If you've enjoyed the video, then please don't forget to press that like button. If you don't subscribe at the moment, then you're more than welcome to subscribe. My name is Brass Birdie, and I'm a Brit living in Uganda. Thanks for watching.